Good morning, 4th and 5th grade. Today is April 1st. I hope you all don't pull any pranks on your parents, any April Fool's jokes. You are allowed to do some April Fool's jokes to your brothers and sisters, but make sure that you are being nice to mom, dad, and I sure wish some of you were here so I could do some jokes on you, but Lord knew why. But today we are going to do test 8. Let me fix my phone here. We're going to do test 8 in your packet there over adjectives. So look with me. Make sure first things first, go ahead and write your name on top and today's date. You don't need to write the score yet. Go ahead and go to Roman numeral number 1. Read with me, identifying parts of speech. The directions. Ready? Begin. Identify the underlined word by writing N for noun, PRO for pronoun, V for verb, or ADJ for adjectives in the blank. We're just going to do number 1, and I'm just going to go over one in each section for you. And we are going to look here. Number 1. Uncle William has an iron bed in his room. What is iron? Well, if you're looking at number 1 there and you're looking at iron, you would see that iron is modifying the word bed. What kind of bed was it? It is an iron bed. So we would put ADJ in the blank. Number 2. The manager of the store must lock the doors each night. To help you better understand this test for numbers 2 through 15, make sure that you look carefully and know, number 1, a noun is a word that shows, a noun is a person, place, thing, or idea. PRO for pronoun is a word that takes a place of a noun. V for verb, a word that shows action, link, or state of being, and ADJ for adjectives. Again, going back to adjectives, adjectives modify or describe a noun or a pronoun. So that's number 1. Roman numeral number 2. Finish numbers 2 through 15 in Roman numeral number 1. Roman numeral 2, finding adjectives. Read directions with me. Ready? Begin. Underline all of the adjectives in each sentence. The number in parentheses tells how many adjectives you should find in that sentence. Let's look at number 1. Read the sentence with me. A wise son maketh a glad father. Notice there, some things to help you with finding adjectives are know the articles a, an, and the are always going to be adjectives, so I know right away. I'm going to underline a and a. I have 2 out of the way already. Then look if there's any words that are modifying a noun or pronoun. Do you see any nouns in the sentence or any pronouns? I see 2. Do you see them? I see the word son and I see the word father. Is there any word that is telling you which one, what kind, how many, how much, and whose son? If you answered wise, you are correct. Wise would be an adjective. Let's go to the next, to another noun in that same sentence, number 1. Do you see another noun? I see one. Do you see it? I see the word father. Father is a noun. Do you see any words that are telling you which one, what kind, how many, how much, and whose father? If you answered glad, you are correct. So you would underline glad. And that's number 1 in Roman numeral number 2. Let's turn the page to page 2. Finish doing that section, and as soon as you're finished, go to to section 3 there. Finding adjectives. Read the directions with me for Roman numeral number 3. Underline the adjective in each sentence. Number 2, write the word that it modifies in the blank. Number 1, Peter always wears blue jackets. Do you see any adjectives in this sentence? I see one adjective, and it is the word blue. Blue is modifying jackets. Which one, what kind, how many, how much, whose jacket? Which jackets? The blue jackets. Write the word that it's modifying in the blank. Well, I just gave you the answer there. It's jackets. So in the blank, you would write jackets. And I wrote in print, but I make sure that in my class, you know that you always write in cursive. I know there's some of you that are new this semester, but please try your best in this portion of our test. Moving on to Roman numeral number 4. Using adjectives. Fill in the correct form of each adjective in the following sentences. Remember, we talked about comparisons. If you need to go back and review what comparisons are, the nice thing about doing it online is that you can go back and you could review these lessons. So let's look at number 1. Again, the directions say fill in the correct form of each adjective in the following sentences. Number 1, read the questions with me. Ready, begin. Or the sentence. Of the 2 monkeys, that one is blank. The adjective form is funny. Notice there's 2 monkeys being compared, so which form of funny would I use? Now, if you answered funnier, you are correct. How would I spell funnier? Well, this adjective ends with Y. That means that I have to drop the Y, add I-E-S-T. So I now have funnier. I'm sorry for the misconfusion there. I didn't mean funniest, it's funnier. If I'm comparing 2 monkeys, then I would have the ending ER. Next section there, Roman numeral 5. Again, comparisons. Let's read the directions together. Ready, begin. Form the ER and EST endings for each of these adjectives. Number 1. Now, this is one of those words that you don't necessarily need to add anything or take anything away. You just add the ER and EST. So the first form is done for you. The second one would be brighter. And the next form would be brightest. You just add EST. Pretty simple, huh? All right, let's go to the next section there, page 3. Capitalization and punctuation. Some of the following sentences have capitalization or punctuation errors. Circle C if the sentence is correct, or I if it is incorrect. Let's look at the first one. Number 1. Read number 1 with me. Ready? Yes, Cody, you may have a second piece of cake. Do you see any errors in this sentence? If you're looking at that sentence and you see an error, you are correct. Now, you are going to circle I because it's incorrect. And then you also have to go back and I believe you have to fix the errors, but it doesn't say on your directions. But if you can, please do so. Now, number 1. Notice that at the end, this is just review over our book that we've gone over, but if you notice for number 1, any sentence that begins with yes or no always has to have a comma. So we're going to put a comma after yes. And that completes number 1 for Roman numeral number 6. Moving on to diagramming. Diagram the following sentences. Number 1. The fierce Indians were captured. Now, I always like to find the verb first for diagramming here. So we're going to do that first. Ready? Find the verb for me. Do you see a verb, a word that shows action, linking, or state of being? Okay, if you guess word captured, you are right. So underline word captured twice. All right, and then let's ask the question to find our subject. Ready? Begin. Who or what were captured? Indians. You're right. Indians. So underline Indians once. By the way, the directions are not, they're not telling you to underline or to underline twice or that, but I always like to underline to find my verb, my subject, and also that helps me find my adjective. So hence why I'm doing this. Do you see any words that are modifying Indians? My noun or my subject there. Yes, the and fear. So I'm going to circle these 2, and I haven't been doing this, but to help you do this test, I felt like it was necessary. Do you see any words, or do you see those 2 adjectives are modifying Indian? So we're going to draw an arrow to the word Indians, as we have done in the past. And there's that. Now, for this, for the diagram, I always make sure that I like you to use a straight edge. So you haven't given you 3x5 card, but if you have anything straight at home, please use that to diagram. Now, let's go ahead and start diagramming this sentence, number 1. And I hope that you are following along with me. First of all, I draw a straight line. Then I draw my subject and verb division line to separate my subject and my verb. So what side does my verb go on? On my right side or on my left side? Okay, you're right, it is on the right side. So I'm going to write word captured here. Gonna do my line a little longer there. Okay, and then my subject goes on this side. If it's capitalized, please make sure you capitalize it as well, Indians. Now, Mrs. Campos, where does the and fierce go? Well, since they're modifying Indians, they're going to be diagrammed underneath Indians. However, can somebody tell me what they're diagrammed on? Remember, adjectives are always diagrammed on a slide underneath, right underneath our subject there. So, with my straight edge here and with my ruler, make sure you find a straight edge. You're going to draw 2 straight lines. And you're going to write the first adjective, the, and then you're going to write fierce. And that's number 1 done for you. Okay, I think you could handle numbers 2 and 3. And that is the end of our test for English. Now, if you have any questions and you would like to ask me any question, please don't hesitate. I will be here. You can email me or send me a message, and I will gladly help you with any questions that you have. Once you're done with this, just make sure you have your name on top, like I said. And when we get back, I'm going to try to find a way that we can turn in these tests. That way we can get them in. But try your best on this. Pray before you take this test, as we usually do before class, before any test or quiz, and ask the Lord to help you understand English. And I love you all. I miss you all. And I'm praying that you do well on this test.